Folks, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into one of the most explosive topics in the financial world right now. Is the Federal Reserve, in fact, plotting to crash the economy? That's right, we are uncovering the shocking truth behind the Fed's recent actions and what those consequences could be for all of us. So stay tuned, because what you're about to see will, in fact, blow your mind. Now let's get right into it. The Federal Reserve, the so-called central bank of the United States, has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. But are they just fumbling and trying to manage the economy, or is there a more sinister agenda at play? Let's look at the hard evidence. So first, we've got these interest rate hikes. In 2022, the Fed started raising rates aggressively to combat inflation, which was raging at a staggering 9.1% by June of that year. That's the highest it's been in 4 decades. Now, the mainstream media says that the hikes are necessary to cool down the economy. But here's the real kicker. The Federal Reserve didn't just raise rates, they did it at breakneck speed. Now, I could spend an hour on the nightmare inflation level that we're already reaching, but instead, I'd actually recommend checking out our video essay on inflation on this channel by Ari Page. Now, check this out. At the end of 2023, the U.S. economy was barely limping along. GDP growth was sluggish, consumer confidence had plummeted, and businesses were pulling back on investments across the board. And some critics argue that these rapid rate hikes weren't just a response to inflation, but a deliberate strategy to trigger a slowdown. Why? To force a reset of the financial system. Think about it. This kind of mass-scale instability doesn't just happen by accident. Now, let's talk about the Fed's balance sheet. After the 2008 crisis, the Fed's balance sheet ballooned due to quantitative easing, essentially printing money to buy up more assets. And as of 2024, it remains bloated, with assets far exceeding pre-crisis levels. Now, is this just a leftover from past policies, or is this part of a plan to destabilize the economy and consolidate power? And here's where it gets really alarming. The Federal Reserve's continued asset purchases and maintaining of a high balance sheet could be setting the stage for a massive economic crash. Some experts argue that this strategy could lead to hyperinflation or even a full-blown currency collapse. The signs are all there, but are we being kept in the dark? Now, recently, our CEO sat down to discuss the trends with the US dollar and why precious metals may be the better call right now. So do yourself a favor and check out that video right after this one. Also, let's not forget about the stock market. In recent years, we have seen extreme volatility. Huge market swings that seem to correspond directly with Fed announcements. 1 minute the market's up, the next it's crashing. Is this just market turbulence, or is it orchestrated chaos to push the economy towards a breaking point? So this is the big question. Is the American Federal Reserve intentionally setting us up for an economic collapse? The evidence suggests that their policies are causing massive disruptions, from soaring inflation to intense market instability. It's as if they are setting the stage for a massive reset, and the American people could be left holding the bag. Economist Paul Craig Roberts recently put it like this, quote, "As the authorities have set in place a system that bails out secured creditors with our bank deposits, stocks, and bonds, we'll have no money and no financial assets to sell for money. People with mortgaged houses and businesses will lose them, as they did in the 1930s when they lost their money due to bank failures. People with car payments will lose their transportation. The way the system works is you lose your money, but not your debts." Now, folks, this is where you come in. We need to stay vigilant and question everything. The Federal Reserve's actions could be part of a grand scheme to reshape our economy and our lives. But what do you think? Are we witnessing the groundwork for a controlled demolition of our financial system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation that they don't want us to have going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're always up to date with the latest truth and analysis. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more explosive content.